Hello, hello. We are back again with The Change Starts Here. Today we're talking about learning about divination tools or divine communication tools. Who should use it, when to use it, and how to use it. So I think that's a great topic because I think a lot of people know about the tools, may be a little bit afraid of the tools, but we want to assure you that if they're used correctly and with divine white light, only good things will come to you. And there's such a myriad of things and a myriad of ways to use these tools. And all of us here on this screen have used or currently use these tools. And we're just going to start out with the pendulum because I think a lot of people have heard of the pendulum before. Have all of you on the screen heard about the pendulum?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So a pendulum is usually has a chain, right? Now, the thing is, you don't have to go and buy something called a pendulum. If you wear a necklace or have something in your home that has a heavy end to it and a chain of some sort, you can use that as a pendulum. Now, if it's your necklace and you're asking questions about yourself, it will tend to be more accurate. Now, I will let you know this is not a life and death answer. Okay. I've used pendulums when they were correct, and I've used them when they're incorrect. And that's just part of the course because sometimes people, when they use a pendulum, they subconsciously move the pendulum as to the answer that they want to hear. So you have to be really careful not to physically influence the pendulum when you're asking a question. Does everybody have the pendulum? Let's hold that up. You always hold your pendulum in your right hand. That's your answer hand, your outputting hand. The left hand is the grounding hand. You always put that left hand under the pendulum. Now you're going to want to keep that real still. Now, the first thing that you do before you ask any questions is you say, well, please communicate with me and do your prayers and stuff along that line. But you would say, show me yes. And pretty soon the pendulum's going to move. Then you say, stop. Show me no. And the pendulum will typically rotate the other way. Now, I don't know if you can see this in the light. Doing the best that I can. I've got a beautiful piece of citrine here. I should be asking the citrine if I'm going to become a millionaire, right? Oh, no. So it's probably correct on this case.
Right.
So, I shouldn't say, am I going to become a billionaire? We're not going to know what that says, right? So everybody put their pendulums up who have one. You don't have to say your question out loud because that's not what it's about. If you're speaking to the universe, you can get answers from the universe without using your mouth because when we pray, we use our mind, right?
Yeah.
So go ahead and just remember to start with show me yes. And when it shows you yes, always say stop. In between each question, always say stop so that pendulum stops moving so you get accurate answers. Is Nicole enjoying her time here on the podcast today? Now, not only can you use a pendulum over your hand to ask questions about yourself, for yourself, and if you're with another person, you can have them do this for themselves. But as a practitioner, you can also help people, for example, find where they should move to or where they should live. A pendulum can be held over a map. When the pendulum starts to swing yes, you stop over that state and you know that's where they're supposed to move. Then you can start bringing it down further and further and further, city by city. I've actually done this with a client, and yes, they did move there. The reason they were supposed to move there was they were supposed to find someone that they were going to marry. It was between two people. She chose one of the people. She did marry that person after she moved to that city. So if you believe in your practitioner, life can change very dramatically. And even more importantly, if you believe in yourself, you can change your own life.
Very true.
Now, before I go on, let someone else speak because we got lots of things to talk about. Who would like to go next?
One of the guys, go ahead and go. So we'll trade off, girl, guy.
Yeah, I like that. London, go ahead.
I don't know how much I have to add because I haven't used much. I've definitely done card readings and stuff, and every time I do them, I'm so like shocked. I'm like, how is this just exactly what I was thinking? Because I look at it whenever I do a card reading, I try to be as calm as possible and just let the cards do their thing, and it always ends up being something directly related to whatever I was thinking about or whatever I'm dealing with. So I don't know much about it, but I think it's really interesting, and I wonder like how our consciousness affects the cards we're going to see, because even on a if you look at how atoms interact, and with the famous experiment where they measure the atom, and it splits into two instead of being in the pattern, but when they go to measure it breaks it. It's just splits into two instead of being a random pattern. And so that shows that when you analyze something, when you go to measure something, your consciousness is affecting your reality, and it's collapsing down into your reality, and it's all affected by what you're paying attention to in your consciousness. So where you put your focus is really powerful. So I think I think it's all really interesting, and I think these things are connected in a way we don't fully understand it. So.
And that is a loose explanation of quantum physics, ladies and gentlemen. In London, how do you read cards?
Oh, I haven't like done a card reading for anybody before.
No, I mean, how do you read cards for yourself? Do you do it by heat and touch? Do you do it by yes, no?
Usually,
how do you do it?
Yeah. I'll usually put my hand over the card, and if I feel that's the card, then I know that's the card. And I know that at some, that card's going to be relevant to something in my life or so. Yeah.
Absolutely. To that note, angel cards. Angel cards are actually the only cards that I can use. I cannot use tarot cards. Tarot cards make me extremely ill. I started out on angel cards because when I was at a Renaissance festival, I sat down to get a tarot reading, and the gentleman said, I can't do a reading for you because you can read for yourself. And I'm like, oh, okay, and he told me to put my own hand over the cards, and the ones that feel hot are my cards, and the ones that don't are not my cards. So I put my hand over the cards, and sure enough, certain cards definitely felt hot to the point where I lifted up the tablecloth and looked underneath the table because I thought it was some kind of joke, and there was nothing there. And that's when I realized that I could read cards by feel. I did that for quite some time until I realized that I was hearing yes, no as I was going through the cards, which made it much, much faster and much easier. After that point, I realized I didn't need cards at all. I was now doing intuitive readings and was getting detailed messages. But I think a great place to start is by angel cards. I don't know if any of you have angel cards out there, but this is an angel card. And when I talk about feeling it, each card I hold in my right hand, but I would put my hand over it like this. Now I go through one card at a time, which it does take time, but if I feel heat off of the card, that is a card that they want me to keep. If I feel nothing, and I put that in one pile, if I feel nothing over the card, if the card is cold or has no energetic value to it, it goes into the no pile. Now, a lot of times I would ask questions ahead of time for my clients and or for myself, because I can read for myself. I would put my questions down and go to the yes pile and no pile. Now, as I got more skilled at it, I would know which warm card went to which question in which I asked. There's a book that comes with your angel cards. You can, before you understand what they mean, you can look up each individual card and jot it down to better understand how they're answering your question that you've put out into the universe.
That's cool.
Some people put them in a bag and shake them up and then just reach in and pull some. Some people just shuffle, and if one pops out, that's the card. So everybody reads cards differently. The important thing is learning how it makes sense for you to read cards for yourself and or other people.
How many cards do you typically use, Laura? I mean, like, especially with the shuffling and then when they pop out. I've seen different examples where, you know, they'll just keep using multiple decks too. So how does that work?
Well, I mean, I can only speak for myself. There is no set number of correct cards. I could come up with a card. I could come up with 7 cards. It just really depends on, one, how many questions did I ask? And two, how many different ways are they trying to prove their point on the same questions? So the one thing is people tend to, they'll do it, but they're like, and I'm sure London and Holden can align with this. It's like, yeah, well, I chose this card and yeah, but is it really true? Or did I really pick the card? Or is it the right card? And then they start reading them and it just validates their question or validates that, yes, this is your answer. And there may be another card that validates that same answer so that they know this is the answer for them. So it could be any amount of cards. I've used 2 decks at once. I mean, not once, but I've used 2 decks before.
Got it.
Yeah, I think also that, you know, we don't necessarily know the history of a lot of things or why these things even exist. Why do pendulums exist? Why do tarot cards exist? But we use them, and so none of us here are the creators of those items. So, you know, and it's been used for centuries. So there is something to it. You know, we're just talking about it.
Yeah.
You know, so there's definitely something to it. And like Merwin, he's the one who really came up with tarot cards. And a lot of people don't know that, you know, he's just as famous as a Edgar Casey, you know, type of person. And a lot of people, like I said, just don't know the history of these things. Just, you know, a lot of these things become taboo for people, or like, you worship some other entity, and I'm like no. You know, so all of those things, and there's a reason for that too. Those things may amplify the power that you already have within, This is just me talking off the top of my head because there was a reason. And, I'm like London, I'm that science background person. So I'm always try to figure out the why. Why is this? And not just accept it. So there's
Yeah.
a reason for these things.
Yes. Another great concept is stones. I know a lot of people have stones. They have stones because they like the way they look, right? But in reality, each stone has energy, and different colors have different energies. I know you can't see this. This is a citrine stone. This is definitely connected to money and finance. If you could see this stone, you can see that it has burn spots on it and paper burnt to it. Why does that happen? Well, I'm a person who likes to amplify their manifesting.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm manifesting and I'm going to manifest to whomever, Mother Asno or universe, there's power in the written word, right? So we're going to write. You're going to manifest. This is what I want in detail. Write it all down. It's on your paper. You wrote it with your own handwriting. Now you take that paper and you can crumple it up or fold it up, whatever your heart desires. And then you're going to take something like this, an abalone shell. Now, abalone shells can be used for many things, but it can also be used for that paper that you just wrote. Now, for me to amplify what I am trying to manifest, if I'm amplifying the fact that I want to increase financial abundance, I may put a citrine stone inside of that paper and I'm mushing it up, and this stone now is inside of this paper. I'm going to burn this paper. It's going to burn all the way down. And I suggest, even though it's in something, go outside, right? Once that has burned all the way down, you're going to return it to the earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. And you let it go out and let the wind carry it away so that it carries it out into the universe. Now, remember that a lot of this stuff is symbolic. Now, you can manifest without doing all of this stuff, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of people like symbology. They like to be able to see things, feel things, and hear things. So this is definitely something that you can do with the stones, is to really magnify what kind of manifestation you're trying to do, as well as carrying them in your pocket, carry them in your wallet, carry stones for protection, carry blue stones for communication. Okay, each stone has a different purpose and a different reason for having them in your life. You can also use stones for healing, to amplify the energy in certain parts and certain points of your body. You can also use them to amplify the communication between you and the universe, right? You can put them on certain points of your body to do that as well. Stones are so awesome for so many things. I encourage you to look things up and see all the different things that you can use and do with stones. Have any of you used stones, and what do you use them for?
Well, I don't personally use them, but I've seen the stones don't last forever, and they can crack and can darken. I've seen them too. So
And do you know why that happens?
energy transfer.
Yep. And if they're turning a darker color, it's usually the collection of negative energy.
I like I definitely have some stones I've collected over time. I don't have any next to me, but I like the idea of the ritual of writing down your manifestation and burning it, because not only are you taking your metaphysical idea and bringing it into a physical ritual, you're locking that. You're talking to your subconscious, which doesn't speak in language; it sees things through imagery. So you're not only telling your, the universe that, you're telling yourself that, you're telling your subconscious that, you're really putting yourself in the right place for your manifestation. I think that just can definitely boost where you're trying to go. So
Absolutely.
I could see myself doing that.
I mean, also look at like quartz. We use that every day. On this here computer we're talking on, your watch, your phone. It's energy. So it's not woo-woo people. It works. It is
Right.
working energy, People said, okay, this works. And Laura, when you just said ashes to ashes and dust to dust, that movie popped up in my head immediately, Practical Magic.
My favorite.
That's the name of that movie we were trying to think of that earlier.
It just did like that. I was like, okay. I was like, all you had to do is say a line. I don't know. But
Right.
one of the things in the movie that I use also is tiger's eye. Because remember the girl was going like, I gotta get with tiger's eye.
Right.
Just for power.
Yeah, I love tiger's eye.
Yep. Power, courage, understanding, those type of things. So certain things, yeah, I totally believe in, and you should keep on. Like for us right now, we probably should all keep a amethyst on us, so that we can have release of stress, because that'll help calm you, because all of us under stress right about now. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, certain things
You're so right.
Yeah.
The world is crazy. The world is definitely nuts right now.
That's right. That is correct.
Right.
Yeah, I love stones. I mean, I wear quartz. I don't know if you can see it. I wear quartz every day. I wear jade every day. This is kind of a combination of every day. It's like my ritual. I have to have them on before I go out the house.
Yes. And what does jade stand for, Harriet?
Jade stand for?
Or what is the meaning for you? What does jade fill you with, or pull from you?
Okay. Think about God, Laura, why'd you do that? Went to Asia again. Here it seems like I'm just what I'm talking about. So it's a spiritual stone. So, if you think about people in Asia and Tibet and even some in India, Japan, of course, China, if you walk in the Buddhists and everything, most of the time it's going to be made of jade.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere you go. So grounding spiritually, that's what that is for me. And every day, that's why I wear it.
That's awesome. And some stones, if you put it in your hand, you can immediately feel its energy.
Yeah.
And some stones is like, yes, this is for me. And some stones are like, whoa, this isn't for me. Not right here, not right now. There are such a variety of stones. Once again, look everything up. It's really important to know what they stand for, but then figure out how they work for you.
Right.
And when you're using stones, a lot of times they say to cleanse the stones. Different ways to cleanse the stones is put them in water, spread them in the moonlight, right?
Yep.
There are lots of different ways. Sage, you can sage your stones. You can sage yourself. You can sage your others. You can sage your home. Sage is so, so important. Not only does it purify the air of any negative energy from people, things that may be in your house, it also purifies air, makes it more healthy to breathe and to be around, and it actually improves the immune system. Now, there's so many different sages, right? I've got one box here as I drop everything on the floor of just a ton of different sages. One's for love, one's for chakra, joy, sunshine, goddess, serenity. There's just all kinds of different sage. You just have to look for them, know what's for you. I always light it, make sure that you light it, and then you're going to blow it out once it all gets red on top, right? Because you don't want it on fire the whole time, otherwise you're not going to have anything left. You're going to blow it out, and it just smolders. It just smokes, but smoke out of it. Some people hate the smell of it. Some people love the smell of it. There's just different kinds of smells. If you are cleansing your house, remember to go and you cleanse each and every single corner of your house. Okay? Make sure it's up in the upper corners, and you are at the same time speaking to or for whatever it is you want. If you're wanting to get rid of, for example, spirits, if you're wanting to get rid of energy, you're going to be speaking the whole time. Now, this is just not, this is once again a positive thing. When you're talking, you can be speaking to your angels. You can be speaking to God. You can be speaking to your spirit guides. Anyone on the other side of the veil who you believe has the best intentions for you, that would want to help you at that moment. So this is something that you would use maybe before a ritual. And by ritual, I don't mean anything scary like witchcraft. I'm saying ritual as in anything physically you do to create an energetic change in your life. Cleanse with sage. Holden, what do you have to say about sage?
I do have sage in my house. I've used it before, and cleared out some things. Yeah.
And how did that go for you? How did you do it?
I went all around the house. Concentrate on the doors. I think I had the windows open. And yeah, I went all through the house and really commanded what I wanted to happen.
Mhm.
And went from there. That's how I did it. Yeah.
That's awesome. Oh, somebody got our little witch kitty behind them.
Mm.
Yeah. You know, speaking of cats with saging, I mean, I sage a lot. I that's one thing that has really resonated with me, mostly to reduce negative energy and stress and just that ick. And I have more than one cat, but I can actually see a difference in their behavior and their interaction with each other after I sage. It's weird.
That's really interesting. I never thought about that.
Yep.
For animals, yeah.
Chase your children around with a thing of sage.
Mhm.
Exactly. You get that sage, it's enough to fill the back of a pickup truck, drive around your neighborhood.
Yeah, like bring all the bale of sage. But I mean, I've actually been able to do a lot of cord cutting ceremonies with myself with sage, and I mean, and I incorporate stones. I also incorporate dimes because my dad, who's crossed over, after he passed away, I would get dimes. I would just find them random, and then one day I was looking in a box and I found this.
Look
I
at
don't know
that.
what it is. It's something you buy in a, I don't know what it is, but it's just a whole bunch of dimes in some, yeah, and it was just like, whoa. So that is on my little altar type thing. And I just walk around with the sage around the house, and I have a bowl just to burn, like energy that I want to get rid of. And it's tremendous. You can use your stones too.
Tell me, or us, I should say, about what is your cord cutting ceremony? How do you do that?
Typically, I will write down what I want to release. It might be a relationship, it might be an energy, it might be some stress, something that I'm just, really challenged with, and I'll write it down on paper. I kind of incorporated a lot with smudging the house. I smudge myself. I smudge, and you're letting that sage, the smoke be around you. It really just kind of makes you feel empowered. I don't know how to explain it, but and then I'll burn the paper in my bowl and have the sage, and I watch each piece of paper burn, and I will, just continuously say what I'm trying to cut from my energy, and watch that piece of paper burn until it's all done.
Interesting. Because I know also in some cord cutting ceremonies, it can be visual
Yeah.
with some kind of ritual, or it can be physical. Some people have like a rope and literally
Right.
the rope and let the rope burn.
And that's why I do that with the paper. And then I watch. And a lot of times I'll just, have candles going. So it's not, it's just, more peaceful and relaxing. And you watch that paper burn, and you just visualize, and it's healing just watching that paper burn.
You're right.
It's really crazy.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for sharing. I really appreciate
Yeah, I like that.
Well, of course. And then after, like the next day, I will do like a simmer pot just of just various flowers and herbs and whatever, and it just makes the house smell fresh and clean. And I do cinnamon, and I keep all the windows open for a couple hours, and it just really makes a difference.
So you're saying you put a pot on the stove and add?
The last time I used some orange slices, some lemon slices, rosemary, and I'm trying to think of some lavender.
Okay.
And it just, you just don't do what I did the second time and forgot about it, and then it burned.
Oh no.
It was not a pleasant smell. It's called a simmer pot. But no, you just use just a little kettle, just a little bit of water, and on very, very low heat. And, every once in a while, if it's really boiling, then I'll just kind of walk around the house and have some of the scent be in different rooms and stuff. It works really well.
Wow. That's
I think
great.
it's good for your immune system too.
Right. I can imagine it would be. Okay.
So that's interesting too. You're talking about how you burn things, and immediately, don't ask me why, that's just how my brain works. But popped in my head was like the conclave when they are electing the Pope.
Mm-hmm.
And they do the votes.
Yep.
And
with the white smoke,
they burn the paper.
Exactly.
They burn the paper. And so that's our ritual within itself.
Right.
Yes.
So again, we're just not thinking of these things off the top of our head. Depending on where you're from, you have different, traditions, but they're all very, very similar.
Yeah.
Right. All very similar. And of course, they do the incense, doing, service.
Mm-hmm.
They're already burning them. They have it in the, I don't know what the little vessel is called that they have in
The little lantern thing. Yeah.
that, and so that in itself is a ritual when you're going there, going over the Bible back and forth and different verses they say, and they, all of that is a ritual. So I just want to give people another perspective of things that, or even symbolism of the cross, wearing that. If you hold that up, that could be a pendulum at some point, couldn't it?
For sure.
Or it can compel evil. I mean,
There you go.
Mm-hmm. It's it's all a perspective of
Yeah.
how you were raised, your beliefs, what you've allowed your mind to expand to. I mean, like I said, we don't need any of it. We're all
Right.
powerful just on our own. But sometimes it's nice to have some kind of symbolic energy expelled to say, hey, this made me feel better. This
Yep.
made my house feel cleansed. And speaking of that, Harriet, can you share us with your cinnamon ritual?
Yeah. So on the first of each month, you should blow cinnamon into your house. So if you have like multiple, I do it on multiple or every doorway that I have. So you step outside of your house and you put the cinnamon in your hand and you just blow it, you know, back inside of your house, every doorway. Do it on the first. And so you want to have a happy, prosperous month, because things can change, but that's just a ritual that I've learned to do. Also put salt in the corners, you know, to keep out the bad juju. you know.
Right, right.
So you put that in the corner and you blow the cinnamon into your house.
And make sure you're blowing it into your home, not out of your home.
Yep. You step outside the house and you blow it into your home. Yep.
And when I do that, I always make sure that I'm saying words of affirmation of abundance or
Yep.
whatever I want to come into my home. Um, I've even have some videos I think of. I actually do have videos. I think it's on my 1111 page of how to sage your house and words that you can say. I also have examples of the cinnamon ritual of blowing the cinnamon inside your front door and saying words. I also have videos of just focused meditation and how to set up maybe your candle arrangement or your stones or all of the above. Like I say, you don't have to do this like any of us are suggesting because it might work differently for you. Some variation of what we're talking about is really however your soul speaks to you, that's how I would want you to do it.
Yeah. There's also there are different types, like we were saying, it doesn't have to be anything tangible. And I was listening to this kid last night, and he was telling me about a different way to manifest. And I was like, okay, I think this kid is like 7 or 8. But yeah, it's 2 kids that I've stumbled across. And every time I see them, I just stop and listen to them because kids are like the closest thing to God at this point
That's
when they're
right.
on the
They're
earth.
first.
Absolutely.
Yes. So I really, even though we are also, but they're purer than we are because we've been here longer and we've adapted to this stuff. But anyway, um, so his mother was talking to him about water, right? And so I have my book tonight.
Ah, there it is.
And I've been reading, I've been going over it all day today. I was like, oh my God, I almost forgot how good the book is. What the kid was saying yesterday was another way for you to manifest is through water. And I was like, well, really? That's interesting. And he said, you get a cup of water right before you go to bed and you talk to the water. Well, that's what this book is talking about. Messages
Yep.
of basement. He said you talk to the water and you tell the water everything that you want. Do your manifesting. You tell it what you want. And then he said you drink half of the glass and you put it down and you leave it. Go to sleep. When you wake up, get the glass again. And he said, speak into it. basically, you know, saying how you're thankful for the things that are about to come from what you've spoken to at last night. And he said, and you drink the rest of the water. And so, me, again, scientific, I go, well, when we're born, we're 90% water anyway. And then as we get older, we're 75% water. So we are what we're talking to right now. I was like, this kid makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That's
And
Yeah.
then and another ritual that you can do is he said, talk to the water, then step into it. I was like, what's he talking about? He's talking about the ocean, the river, whatever. He said,
Mhm.
speak to the water. He was saying because currents and things are flowing to you. So speak to what you want to flow to you. I was just in awe of this kid. I was like,
Yeah.
yes.
if you're ever in a writer's block, or you need to get creative, or if I'm writing a song, if I go by flowing water, it's just like effortless. It's just
Wow. That's
Yep.
amazing.
mhm. It's
You
very
can do like a cord cutting or an energy release by the water too, by writing down what you want to remove from your life. And it's kind of a symbolic thing watching that piece of paper float away out of your life.
Yeah, there's a lantern ceremony where you put it in there, you burn it, and the lanterns float away in the water. So it's so many different water, but I never heard that one, what that kid said about drink half of it, get up. I was like, oh, that's a done deal. I am doing that.
Hmm.
I am definitely doing that. But you guys, with this book, and I know I got all these pages, I don't know. Can you guys see this picture?
I know that I remember hearing a lot about that. I watched
Yeah, I
about
can see it a little bit. Yeah.
So
about
that's what happens when water is the guy that wrote the book. He did this particular experiment, and this is from talking like pure love and wonderful things to water. And this is what came out after they, flash
They
like
look
three.
like snowflakes.
Correct. So this, all of these pictures with all these wonderful, look at this one, wonderful, beautiful, vibrant things that come out when you speak love, light, peace, tranquility. But here's also what happens when you don't speak that. Look at that.
Mm.
Yeah, horrible, messed up.
And so the fact that we are water, then we have to speak what wonderful things to ourselves, because
Yeah,
what are we doing to ourselves?
right.
If we are water, and that's what happens to your body or to the body of water when negative things come in, and think about all the negative things that we get every day,
Hmm.
in our lifetime. So we got to learn how to protect ourselves by speaking wonderful and beautiful, positive things and aligning ourselves that way.
Well, and think about when people are hurling negative words at you and
Yes.
how it makes you energetically feel. Now, if you're feeling that way, imagine what the cells and water in your body are doing when you're trying to process the negative things that are being hurled at you,
Yep.
and how you may even become physically ill, from those experiences.
And people do think about, if somebody says something really negative or nasty to people, you see them right there on the spot. Some people just break down. They physically cannot not take it. So yes, you see stuff like that instantly changing, or you see the anger.
Right. Yeah, everything complex. What
I think
Say
it
it again,
froze.
Laura, you're breaking up a little bit.
Oh, I said, what is in London's?
It's my little desk thing. It's like a parabola or something. It
That's
goes back in
cool.
that shape
Oh, that's
It's funny.
crazy.
And I just like playing with it. I guess
Something fun to play with.
it's a fun tool.
That's one of London's tools.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
exactly.
It really is. It's like one of those big expanding bowl things, but
Right, those are cool.
yeah. This one's just made of rings. So.
It almost sounds like the that rain making thing.
Yeah, a rain stick or
The
something.
rain stick. It almost sounds like a rain stick.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it definitely keeps my mind calm. Oh, you're breaking up real bad.
Yeah, Laura. I don't know.
She's frozen now.
Happen. We must.
Yeah, you're frozen.
Yes, it's stuck.
Are you there? Are you there?
Are you there? Is the real question. We are all here.
Oh, now it seems like
That's weird though. That's never happened before.
Hmm.
We must be getting some really good information. They're trying to keep it quiet.
Yeah. And
Well, what I was saying is another good a validation tool is synchronicities. I think it validates when you are being heard or when they are trying to communicate with you. I think the more synchronicities you get, a lot of times it just mirrors really how aligned you are with the universe and God Himself. I know a lot of us have been having a lot of synchronicities and a lot more of them back to back to back. It's really a crazy journey to be on when you just get a constant every 3 or 4 hours. Mind blowing. It's like you can't. Can you understand what I'm saying?
no. You may have to stop it right here.
Yeah, we may have to wrap it up. It's real bad now.
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. Well, it looks like the internet is not aligned with us right now. So what to do? We're going to come letting us to educate you and show you some different ways to use the tools that are all around. We look for maybe another day. Till then, like us, share us, and follow us. Certainly appreciate each and every one who can say goodbye. Bye.
All right, y'all. Everyone be good.
You too.